Good Monday morning. It's September 14th, 2020. I'm Guy McPherson of GuyMcPherson.com, otherwise known as Nature Bats Last. And I have puppets to the left of me, drinkers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with... Oh, that doesn't sound good, does it? I want to point out, first of all, a special announcement. We are going to reduce the frequency with which we shoot and post these videos online to 2 or 3 times a week. Essentially always on Monday, unless there's a 3-day weekend, which means a holiday, which means the market's open on Tuesday. But generally on Monday, generally on Friday, perhaps on Wednesday in between. So keep an eye out for that change. And if you notice I'm missing and you can't figure out why, don't call the police. I'm fine. It's just that we reduced the video production. In fact, I'm better as a result of that. All right, so here we go with some headlines as the markets open in the United States. From NBC News, fires raging in West kill 33 with dozens missing. This is from over the weekend. And the subhead is, quote, "The reality is that my mom most likely didn't make it off the mountain," end quote, said a California woman searching for her mother. From the Omaha World Herald, and several other newspapers around the country with the same or similar information. Here's the headline from the Omaha World Herald. Amid ashes, California governor fires away on climate change. That's California Governor Gavin Newsom. And in the article it's pointed out that he says, quote, "The data is self-evident," actually, Gavin, it's the data are self-evident. Data is plural. But anyway, quote, "The data is self-evident. The experience that we have in the state of California just underscoring the reality of the ravages of climate change. Mother Nature is physics, biology, and chemistry. She bats last, and she bats 1,000. That's the reality we're facing, the smash mouth reality, this perfect storm. The debate is over around climate change. Duh. The debate has been over for a really long time. I've been pointing out fires, large fires, and increasingly frequent fires as one of many self-reinforcing feedback loops serving to further heat the planet. There's more. This from CNN. The fires raging out west are unprecedented, as I've been pointing out for several years. They're also a mere preview of what climate change has in store, as I've been pointing out for several years. From ABC News in the United States, again over the weekend, the final headline about fires, devastating wildfires raise concern about lack of preparedness for climate change. Lack of preparedness? There's no way to prepare for climate change, as I pointed out a few million times. And I've never in my entire life exaggerated, and I can't tell you that frequently enough. Anyway, as I pointed out many times, there's nothing to be done. If we slow industrial activity, that will heat the planet as a result of loss of aerosol masking. If we keep going as we're going, the must go faster mentality, then we're going to continue to heat the planet. Take your pick. Heat the planet super fast, heat the planet super faster. Those are the options we have before us. So headlines such as this, devastating wildfires raise concern about lack of preparedness for climate change. The only preparedness we have at this point is preparing to die, preparing to complete our lives. And what that means for me is living. You prepare to die by living a full life, by being completely honest with the people in your life, by spending the time with the people you love, and so on. All right, on to a different topic. Again, headline over the weekend from the Washington Post. IRS is trying to reach 9 million people who haven't collected their stimulus payments. Here I am. I'm right here. I've been trying to contact the IRS for weeks through various people, including my congressional representative, who's completely disappeared. I'm easy to find. The U.S. surveillance spy network found me years ago. I'm not hiding. You're trying to reach 9 million people who don't have their stimulus checks? Try a little harder. From the Washington Post, it doesn't appear the Republicans' skinny stimulus bill is going to be passed anytime soon. So the IRS is appealing to the estimated 9 million people who still haven't collected the first economic impact payment which may be their one and only chance for coronavirus-related relief funds. Here I am. Do I have to sing the Scorpion song? Here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. No, I'm right here. No hurricanes needed. Changing the subject ever so slightly. From Business Insider, again over the weekend, the worst crash in our lifetime. That's the quote. The worst crash in our lifetime. One market expert says stocks are screaming towards a Great Depression-like setup in early 2021 and warns an 80% to 90% plunge isn't out of the question. Why 2021? Why not 2020? We've already lost aerosol masking. Crop failures are rampant throughout the country. As I pointed out in my most recent video, crop failures are already happening. Why would it not happen this year? I'd be ecstatic if we have until 2021 before there's a profound market drop, before there's capitulation of the stock markets. And I'd be ecstatic to have that happen next year instead of this year. But I suspect it's likely to happen this year as a result of crop failures that have already happened. From the New York Times, a secret recording reveals oil executives' private views on climate change. This is over the weekend. At a meeting last year, industry leaders contradicted public claims that emissions of climate warming methane are under control. So let me get this straight. The oil executives know that methane is out of control and that they are partially responsible. But no paid climate scientist on Earth is willing to admit that methane is even a factor in abrupt, irreversible climate change. Why could that be? Retention of privilege comes to mind, but I would hate to accuse paid climate scientists of wanting to keep their paycheck just because, oh, never mind. From Bloomberg, Googling for gut symptoms predicts COVID hotspots, study finds. And what it finds is when you have an upset gastrointestinal system, that may be a harbinger of pandemic coming your way because people are getting sick, and that's an early symptom is gastrointestinal disorder. And so they start Googling, as the headline says, COVID-19. And so that early symptom is an indicator through the people trying to do a little online research that a hotspot is about to develop. That's very interesting. From CNN Business, stores ended hazard pay for their workers. No surprise there. This is what disaster capitalism looks like. Stores ended hazard pay for their workers. They're still spending hundreds of millions buying back their stock. Buying back their own stock. That's what they're doing with their money. They're not paying workers. They're buying back their own stock to try to prop up the stock markets for a little bit longer. Because every hour with privilege is a good hour from the perspective of certain sociopaths pulling the strings of empire. From Money, seasonal jobs will be a lifeline to unemployed Americans this year. But getting hired won't be easy. Again, sing it with me. Can you say disaster capitalism? This is what it looks like. The lies are rampant. The people who have the money are lying to the people who don't have the money. The people who don't have the money are scrambling for another paycheck to get through another week. This is horrible. And it's not going to get any better. From Business Insider, Trump's $300 unemployment benefit expiring with 30 million Americans jobless. We're talking about $300 a week. The federal government, through the Federal Reserve System, prints money, doesn't print money, makes up digits on computer screens, but we don't have enough for $300 a week for a few Americans who can't find their way because they can't feed themselves. Again, that phrase, disaster capitalism, comes to mind. Again, the horrors of the US government are fully on display here. How many people see it? Probably about 12. From MarketWatch this morning, European stocks and US equity futures climb on vaccine hopes and M&A actions. So there you go, the whole system is falling apart, everything's coming apart at the seams economically, and the hope of a vaccine causes equity markets to skyrocket. From Fox Business, restaurants brace for colder weather as indoor dining remains limited. So again, the whole system has fallen apart. Nobody can go to the restaurants because the restaurants are limiting the number of people they allow indoors. And the reaction from the stock markets? Well, of course, the Dow Jones is up 230, the NASDAQ is up 200, tech stocks on the rebound from last week, and S&P 500 is up 40 plus points as well. So there you have it. Bad news followed by bad news. Stock markets are flaming up higher. Fools to the left of me, jokers to the right. What are you going to do?